wondering if you can just tell me, Luis, a little bit kind of how you got involved with this project. What's the story of you kind of being casting Guns Up?
It was crazy. First of all, I got a call on a Wednesday if I could show up on Tuesday to start shooting Wednesday. And I'm like, whoa, what? I haven't even read the script. So I read the script that Monday, and then I said, guys, I can't fly out to Wednesday to start Thursday. I mean, it was like quick.
Yeah.
And so, they told me a little bit about, the cast and the director, Edward Drake, and it sounded like a fun project. I dug the part,
Mm.
and I ended up in Jersey. I ended up in Jersey for I think about almost a month.
Okay, wow.
Yeah, but it was like rapid fire quick that I ended up on this film.
Sure. No, that's cool. That's exciting. And I think it turned out so well, even even if it was that kind of quick turnaround, because this I just thought this one was so much fun. Like I could never really tell where it was going. It starts and it doesn't stop. It's a blast.
Yeah, well, I tell you what, I mean, it was a really cool shoot. They did really work fast on
Mhm.
this film. Which was a bit surprising to me, but you know, artistically it worked.
Yeah.
And working with Kevin James and Christina was really super cool.
Mm.
And um, we just put in the work and we did. Listen, at the end of the day, this kind of crazy action comedy movie, nobody got hurt. Everybody got to go home in one piece.
Yeah. That's just great, which is great. And I'd love to talk to you kind of just about your character in here because he's so fun. I just love the whole tone of this movie where I mean, it could have been like a gritty take on the whole thing, but just kind of keeping like with the comedy made it so much fun. And it was fun just kind of watching your character weave in and out of there because like he is kind of the badass who knows everything about what he's doing, but also like he's got a lighter side. He was fun to watch. He was navigating the situation on his own. So I'm just kind of curious what aspect of this character that you're playing kind of stood out the most when you were like reading the script for the first time and made you want to play him.
I'll be honest with you. What stood out the most for me was about this character in particular was that he could have jumped out of a jumped out of a airplane without a parachute and have totally confident of like I'm going to navigate landing on somewhere on something and bouncing off a couple of things and landing on my feet.
Hmm.
And it was like that confidence, but it was also that street confidence
Hmm.
that this character had. Like he knew his way around. You know, and nothing was gonna shake him.
Yeah.
You know, it was be in a situation. Oh yeah, really? Okay, think about that for a minute. Um. So I mean, for me, that's kind of how I played it, kind of like loose,
Hmm.
but but always in control when it seemed that I wasn't.
Sure. Yeah.
Because I think the most important thing for me also was that I wasn't playing someone that was going to be intimidated
Hmm.
or come across like that. I was going to come across that it's like, all right, you got 50 guns pointing at me. I got one. What are you going to do?
Right. Right.
And it's like at that point the enemy is looking at you like this guy's crazy and dangerous, so be careful.
Yeah. No, and I loved how that kind of played out in the third act too, because I don't want to spoil anything, but your character like makes his own choices and kind of goes in his own direction, and the odds are against him, but he's just kind of like the whole time, like, whatever, it's fine. It's I thought that was really fun to kind of watch.
Yeah, because the good news is a lot of people didn't make it to the end of this movie, you know,
But you did.
and I kind of navigated the course, and ended up at the end with the family, and we were all happy-go-lucky, and just another good day to be alive.
Yeah, totally. And kind of speaking of the third act, there's a moment that happens like during the finale, the climax that I love so much, where you pick up the rocket or the bazooka and you get to fire that. And immediately I was just like, oh, Narcos, like, haha, I see the connection there. But that seemed like it was so much fun. So how much fun was it like just to get involved in like the action and being able to do something crazy like that right there?
Well, I'll be honest with you. I mean, it's certainly fun, but you always want to be careful because you're dealing with props that if you don't respect them and handle them right
Mm,
and are instructed properly, you could hurt yourself or you could hurt like a lot of people.
sure.
You know what I mean? So, um, and I had good people, working me through it and everything and test firing it
Okay. Oh,
before we
wow.
even shot the scene, you know. I always like to test as a as a performer, actor, someone that has to use these tools,
Yeah.
you know. I like to always practice with them first
Mm,
to feel, you know, the kickback, how it works, all
yeah.
that stuff. Because it's like you don't show up and somebody puts something in your hand and you just go because
Yeah.
you want to know how that thing is going to react in your hands and how much effort and strength you got to put into, you know, making sure that you do the right thing and
Yeah.
again, don't hurt anybody.
Sure. Interesting. I was curious about that too, because I like it looks like a real bazooka that you're holding there. And I couldn't tell like how much of this was special effects and how much like was stunts involved and like how much you actually had to do. But it sounds like that you were pretty like involved with making sure that everything went
Oh
okay.
yeah, no, listen, all the time, all the time.
Hmm.
You know what I mean? Because like we know the history of people getting hurt, and I was not about to become part of that history.
Sure. No, interesting. Interesting. I'm glad it all turned out well and it looks so cool in the movie.
Yeah, no, listen, man, it was great. Like I said, look, Edward Drake had all this in his mind and how the look of it was gonna go and everything, and he was like, he was totally cool in that saddle, man, as a director, you know, and dealing with all these moving parts, but also I tip my hat to the crew,
Mm,
because they also made it safe. The camera guy, the two camera guys that were on this, um, they did a great job of shooting this, and yeah.
yeah, no, totally. Totally. I'm kind of keeping speaking with the ending. The movie ends in a way that I thought kind of almost suggests there could be more to tell with this story. Just like it seems like at least there could be a chance for a sequel, just because it ends with the diner in that moment when all the guns come up. So I was just wondering, do you think that there could still be more to tell, like with your character? Like if they said they wanted to like continue this story, would you be interested in like doing more?
Well, if it was the same team and everything, absolutely.
Hmm. Sure.
Yeah, I mean, listen, why not? Stuff always comes up in life, right? So
Yeah.
it's like the next chapter. Hello.
Yeah. No, I think there's still room to go, and I would love to see it because I was so into this that is I want to stay in this world. And you mentioned Kevin James. There's such a strong cast in this movie too. I wanted to ask what working with him was like because I'm such a fan whenever like I mean Kevin James is the funny guy, and then we see him like do these roles where he gets to be badass too. Like I loved him in Becky. What was it kind of like working with him like when he has to be like this kind of character? And what was he like kind of as a screen partner?
Well, I will say this. I will say that Kevin was 100% prepared,
Mm,
totally 100% committed. You know, um, early on, I was like, "How is he going to pull this off?" And like I said, he was committed. Uh, he worked with the stunt team really well.
mm,
Um, and on top of that, his performance. So you gotta understand when you're doing a movie like this, it's like, okay, there's performance, but there's also the choreography of the action. you
Hmm.
know, and so you got to blend those two together so it has a real flow to it. So it looks totally genuine and fun and funny, you know, and action packed. And he pretty much put all those ingredients together for
Sure.
his character. And I was really proud of him. I was really proud of him because, um, he's a very versatile actor.
Hmm.
I give him a lot of credit.
Yeah.
Um, um, yes, he does mainly comedies and stuff, but I think he can always go beyond that type of stuff too.
Oh, sure, sure. Like I said, I loved him in Becky, where you get to see him just as like the full villain. That's so much fun, and seeing him take this role is fun too. Yeah, totally. So Luis, Guns Up isn't the only project you've got coming out. I would love to ask you about Wednesday season two again, because I can't wait to see it. I'm just such a fan of the first season. Is there anything you can tell me, kind of what we can expect from your character in Wednesday season two, and like what it was like getting to return to that world?
Um, well, my character definitely expanded in the second season. Um, I definitely make an incredible, multifaceted fashion statement throughout. Um, and you know what, man? It's I always ask the writers after the first season, how are you going to outdo that?
Hmm.
And let me tell you, they outdid themselves. They outdid themselves. I have watched the first four episodes.
Hmm. That's all you gotta say. I'm so
That's
sold.
it. That's it.
Yeah,
Um, I believe audiences will absolutely be pleasantly surprised.
sure. No, I can't wait to see it. That's awesome.